Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin, the podcast where we bring you the latest news and updates from around the world. We start with a developing story from Venezuela, where tensions between the country and the United States continue to escalate. According to reports, Venezuela's Interior Ministry has announced that the U.S. has suspended a migrant repatriation flight that was scheduled to arrive on Friday. This move comes amid months of high tensions between the two countries, with the U.S. executing a large-scale military buildup in the southern Caribbean as President Donald Trump campaigns for the ouster of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. The Interior Ministry stated that the suspension interrupted a coordinated process and was contradictory to previous agreements, but a U.S. administration official has contradicted this statement, saying that deportation flights to Venezuela will continue. This is not the first time repatriation flights have been halted. They were briefly stopped earlier this month after Trump said Venezuelan airspace should be considered closed. The situation between the U.S. and Venezuela remains complex, with many Venezuelans fleeing their country due to economic and political instability. The U.S. has been a major destination for these migrants, but the relationship between the two countries continues to be strained. As we continue to follow this story, it's essential to consider the humanitarian implications of these developments and the potential impact on the people of Venezuela. We will provide updates as more information becomes available. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're diving into a complex and intriguing topic that has significant implications for global politics. The United States foreign policy landscape is undergoing a notable shift, particularly when it comes to its stance on Russia. President Donald Trump's administration has unveiled a new national security strategy that seems to diverge from the traditional Republican stance on this issue. This new strategy calls for a swift peace deal in Ukraine and adopts a more conciliatory approach towards Russia. The move has been endorsed by Moscow, which is likely to raise eyebrows given the historical context of U.S.-Russia relations. On the other hand, senior Republican lawmakers have expressed starkly different views, emphasizing the need for continued support for Ukraine and reinforcing European security through NATO. The contrast between these perspectives highlights a deepening split within the Republican Party regarding foreign policy. The House and Senate Armed Services Committees, led by Republicans, have recently proposed an annual defense policy bill that reaffirms U.S. commitment to Ukraine and restricts any potential reduction in U.S. troop presence in Europe. This legislative move underscores the ongoing debate within the party about how to navigate the intricate geopolitical landscape. As we explore this development, it's essential to consider the broader implications for global security and alliances. The United States' role in maintaining European stability and its relationship with Russia are critical components of international relations. Understanding these dynamics is crucial for grasping the evolving nature of global politics. The shift in U.S. our keeper. Foreign policy under President Trump has been marked by a series of unconventional moves, including a more isolationist approach and direct engagement with leaders of nations that have historically been at odds with the United States. This strategy has sparked both praise and criticism, with some arguing it represents a necessary adjustment to changing global realities, while others see it as a departure from principles that have guided U.S. foreign policy for decades. As we continue to monitor these developments, one thing is clear: the world is watching closely how the United States navigates its relationships with other nations, particularly those with which it has complex and often contentious histories. The impact of these decisions will be felt far beyond Washington, influencing global stability, economic partnerships, and the future of international cooperation. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we wrap up today's show, let's take a look at the latest developments in Thai politics. In a surprising move, Prime Minister Anutin Charnvirakul has dissolved parliament, paving the way for early elections. This decision comes amidst a delicate time, as Thailand is currently engaged in a border conflict with Cambodia, which has resulted in the loss of lives and displacement of hundreds of thousands of people on both sides. According to reports, the Prime Minister's decision to dissolve Parliament was made after he received royal permission. The move is seen as an attempt to capitalize on burgeoning nationalism over the border conflict and to boost his appeal in the upcoming general election. Under Thai law, elections for the 500-member House of Representatives must be held between 45 and 60 days after the dissolution of the House. It's worth noting that Prime Minister Anutin's government has faced criticism over its handling of recent floods in southern Thailand, which were the worst to hit the country in years. The opposition had also floated the possibility of submitting a no-confidence motion against his government ahead of a new parliamentary session. As the situation continues to unfold, it's essential to consider the potential implications of these developments on the region and the world at large. With multiple challenges facing the Thai government, including the ongoing border conflict and domestic issues, the upcoming election is likely to be closely watched by international observers. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged.